Some of my biggest concerns as an American, given the direction we're going in, man, it's tough. Man, we have a very, there's not a lot of compassion. Like, I feel like what's waning the most is human compassion, like care and stuff like that. You know, think about it. Nowadays, there aren't any boy bands. There's no bands. There's no groups. There's no people go for self. There aren't even groups. There's no Temptations. There's no New Edition. There's no formation of that. They have it in other countries. In Korea, they still have boy bands and things like. We don't have a Boys to Men. America ain't good enough to have that. We don't have groups even anymore. Like, it's everyone for themselves. People are really money driven here. I think there's billionaire worship. There's a lot of billionaire worship where people unrealistically they see themselves as a future billionaire. And at the moment they're like a thousandaire or maybe a hundredaire. But they may see themselves as a goal. It's easy to make a mental goal. I'm gonna be a billionaire. How? Why actually? Now, if you want to be a billionaire, in my opinion, or some rich person, because you're so philanthropic and you just, man, I know I can flip like for instance, me, I mean, I'm from K-Town, Chicago. So if I could have something to do with, putting computers in all the schools in those neighborhoods and just building up because I have the money to do so, that's what's up. And then maybe the universe will give it to me, right? But I don't have a dark enough heart to get $1 billion, in my opinion, unless, like, I don't want $1 billion for myself. I've already amassed over billions of dollars. My career is billions of dollars made as a movie. My movies have made billions of dollars, generated the money. But being a billionaire, if it were to come to me, it's because of how know I am. Like, I would do something different with the money because I don't care about material things enough for $1 billion to matter. And the billionaire worship really hurts us as a society, in my opinion. America is all about the billionaires or the rich people, and in the black culture, it's even more detrimental because, it separates the have and have-nots in this extreme way. And a lot of people want to show they have something. I got Louis Vuitton on. What are you talking about? I'm rocking this. I'm rocking that. You ain't rocking shit. You ain't rocking shit. Who cares? Your shoes, you walking on the ground with them motherfuckers. What are you talking about? You just stepped in some gum a motherfucker spit out. I got on Louis. Give a fuck. Like, I don't care about that stuff. I don't. Now, my daughter, I'm clad with it. Don't get it wrong. I have this stuff because I have a daughter. Right? My daughter, she's big into fashion and stuff like that. So I'd be like, who is this? I had never heard of Balenciaga type shit. Right? That's an old brand. I didn't know. You know what I mean? But I don't really like that. I don't want you to see Prada right here. I don't want you to see, Gucci written on me. I just don't like that. I don't like that kind of stuff. But America, very much like that. Very much like that. Basketball is another reflection of it too, because I'm a basketball lover, and now people are so driven to play because of the money. You're hearing about people making $70 million a year, and now, shit, I got a son. My son gonna play. I'm 6'3". I'm 6'3", right? Man, he gonna outgrow me. I'm about to go meet a volleyball girl so I can make a basketball player. Like, people really, like, are driven in that way, And I'm not saying they shouldn't do it. They should do whatever. But America is a difficult place to assess. And also, the political energy here is very, very sketchy, I would say. Does the concept of democracy work? I'm not sure. I don't think it. I don't think that it is something that doesn't work. It's just all about the people. It's not. A system will work based on the people who run it. So, can it work? Yes. Is it working? It's a lot of nefarious behavior around governing anything in America, right? For instance, Food and Drug Administration allows red 5, yellow 5, red 40, and all these blue 1 lake and all these other cancer making products in the food that they took out of the makeup even. They used to make women's lipstick, it's red 40. It's literally red 40. You got the shit on your face that they. So I'm telling my daughter, that's the thing, I have a daughter, right? Ah, man, you gotta find clean makeup, yo, if you're gonna wear that shit at all. You gotta find clean makeup. Because you're wondering why you get headaches all the time? Well, you got a whole bunch of shit on your head, and a bunch of shit on your face, and all of it's synthetic, and all of it gets into your bloodstream. So accept that, don't like it, but flip that shit. I don't give a fuck if you don't like it. Flip it. Get, a blueberry makes that color. What the fuck? Okay? Cranberry makes the color. Pomegranate makes the color. In India, they actually use like flowers and things to make color. When you see the beautiful garments, the color ain't red 40. So, but I'm back on the government actually allowing that into the food supply. I think it was in the 70s that they removed it from some of the makeup, right? But to allow it to be in the chewing gum, but take it out of the lipstick is crazy, bro. That's just, I don't know, whatever. Like, it's just crazy. Does the Republican and Democratic systemics that we have now, because it's all we have, like, does it really work? Like, again, that's the same sort of thing. The answer is yes and no, because can it work? Yes. Ideologically, yes. Is it working? I don't think so necessarily, because, excuse me, you're always going to have the have and have nots of a situation. Like, there's always going to be sort of like, when you, like, if you remember being in grade school and lining up in the gym and then having to run across the gym floor, well, the whole line ain't running at the same. Like, we're not equal running across. No one does that. There's going to be people in the back. So that's life. So the Democratic Party will cater to their donors. The Republican Party will cater to their monetary donors. Period. Not us. Because the dichotomy is enriched with people in the back, people in the middle, people in the front, and these people in the back need this, and these people, and they ain't in the business of figuring things out, in my opinion, right? More so maybe in the past, a lot less now, because the generation of money is so prevalent in American politics. Now, if the money could get out of the politics, just to answer your question more succinctly, when the money does not predicate the politics, then that's a working democratic system, right? When the money is not dictating what will happen, the policies. So I was asked the question, are we really free in America? I mean, that's another yes and no answer, man. I hate to be so, I guess I'm being esoteric in my answers, but I don't mean to be, but I'm being truthful in what I believe. It's yes and no. We are free, but we're not free. We're less free, in my opinion, because every day people, like, there's a strangle on how much you can talk about, what you can say, and not be canceled or ruined or something, this and that. So an opinion, a singular opinion, could ruin your life. And it's never really been so much like that. You can make a singular statement and it can take the money out of your bank, which is the food off the table, and ruin your life. It'll turn your lights off, something you can say. And it never really was that much like that. Um, Now it is, though. So we have less freedom. But as an individual in this country, you have probably the most freedom that people have in the world, in a sense, because you can get up, go get in your car, and be a sovereign person if you want. You could decide tomorrow, man, I'm about to move over here, put a stake in this land. I don't care what nobody say, and or I can live in a tiny home somewhere where all I got is Wi-Fi and everything and love around me. You know, so you do have freedom. Now we are urbanized people. We have less freedom. We have, believe it or not, we think we have more because it's 24-hour city, but we have less freedom because there's a greater grasp on the way we think about life. Like, I'm a New Yorker. You know what I'm saying? That got you. That's a grasp, right? I'm from Chicago. I'm like that. That's how we all are, right? those that stuff. So we're free, in my opinion, but a lot less free because you don't have as much freedom to speak, and that's odd because there are all these platforms to talk on. There's more platforms to talk on, and less freedom to talk. So, man, what a conundrum that's a tough thing right there, bro. That's a double-edged sword right there. It really is. Because you don't want to be ruined. You don't want to be ruined. You know what I'm saying? Because you said something, one statement. Yeah, and it can be a truthful statement. It doesn't really matter if it's true or not. So that's dangerous and tough, man. That makes America a tough place to, because freedom of speech, is that not amendment? That's the First Amendment, yeah. So it's like limited freedom of speech. The caveat: limited freedom of speech. So you still have the freedom to say it, but what you gonna do about the repercussions of it? Like so, that's a yes or no answer. Sorry. When I hear about books being taken out because of the content of it and historically true and prevalent things, wow, what a dangerous and slippery slope that is. I do believe that America is it's in a kind of a bad place in my opinion. But like I said, the roller coaster goes down. So maybe we're either on that up part where it's scary as hell, or that down part where it's scary. But we're not on that little even part right there where you're a little bit less scared, And we're not in the movement where we're grooving with it, like, you know what I'm saying? So we're either on that up scary part or that down. Hopefully, it's the down part, because that gives us some momentum to go somewhere else. Okay, I don't want us to be in the beginning of, this dark stuff, this dark space where hopefully we're not in the beginning of this dark kind of, what I perceive as a dark kind of space. Like, I hope we're over that part and we're going into being able to, like, sort of sit in for the ride type thing, right? Whew, man, America. Wow. Crazy place, bro. What's happening right now is, in my opinion, is some of the craziest times to be alive, because there's so much access to each other through social media, and you think you know somebody, but you really don't. And people are more controlled by the visual elements that they get on their phones, and you're swiping, you know what I'm saying, reading everything and just zoning out, and before you know it, you've been lost for 3 or 4 hours on some topic you really don't give a shit about, right? But you found entertaining. And so it's very dangerous times that we live in right now, bro. I feel like social media is a giant, and the people are David. Okay, I mean, so social media is Goliath winning. Okay, this is not David. We don't have a slingshot and a rock. The people don't have a weapon to fight against the giant in the room. But social media is a big deal. People get their life from social media now. Things take over us, right? Internet itself has really taken over. Like, you got to buy your things off the computer. You know what I'm saying? And in my opinion, social media has given politicians a voice, to reach their demographic and influence the way they think. So, for instance, I'll take like Fox television versus, say, like, I don't know, CNN or MSNBC. Those who look at CNN believe what they say. Those who look at Fox believe what they say, and it's really simple. And then part of that is because, like, people are quite simple. Like, the average American does not read even a book a year, which means the average American does not read. If you don't read the whole book, you didn't read it. So we don't read and we don't ingest information and process the same way anymore. And yet we're in closer proximity to each other. And yet we know I know how many outfits you got because I looked at your page. I know how many pairs of shoes you got. I don't even know you. And I know what you and your girlfriend like to do. I know how you feel about women or whatever. Too much information imparted from stranger to stranger. And I just don't like it. So I'm not. I mean, I have a pretty big following on social media, but I don't really. I look at it as a place to put some jokes and stuff like that. Like, I put funny things online. I literally post cats and dogs and stuff like that. Like, you know, I am super excited for these next endeavors as we build agency together. You know, the Harris Brother Production, uh, ATIP Labs 24/7, um, coming together like Voltron, coming together like this Jedi Council, and really stepping into these different spaces of brands, branding, music, and what we provide as production for television and film. And that really matters that we have some success so we can be philanthropic, so we can build up an area like K-Town where I'm from, and so we can put money where I believe it should be in philanthropy. So, yeah, I'm terribly excited for us to do it. It's like the sky's the limit, all the things we can do with brands and working with various large brands and putting our content in the world. So I'm very, very excited about it, man. This is Wood Harris, and you are checking out 24/7 HH. Peace.